Oh geez, we're really doing this, huh?
Hi, Steb.
I
I think you're ready to. I think your run just started. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It is 3:05 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry about it. I work evening shifts. So I'm gonna be fine.
Did you stay up for this, or you?
I did not wake up. I did not get out of bed until about 8 p.m. Don't worry about really. Don't worry about it.
Nice. Well, that worked out pretty well in this case.
Yeah, I this is more or less my normal schedule, as I say, working late. So, but yeah, this is Portal. I think most of us know what Portal is. Sorry that I can't show you the actual title screen, but I was practicing, and as far as I know, there isn't a way to just go back to the title screen. You have just the pause screen. That's all you've got. But yeah, this is Portal. This is the glitchless category, which means basically we're not doing any of the out of bounds, accelerated backhopping shenanigans that are usually the sort of things that are synonymous with runs of a Source engine game. I mean, we're still going to be finding ways to like be very fancy about it, but basically, yeah, we're not going to be quite as mind-breakingly ridiculous. I'm going to start a new game. Time is not going to start immediately. I will try to give you like a countdown, but I'm going to hit new game, and we're going to get right into this. All right.
Go ahead and count yourself down whenever you're ready. Then.
All right. Here's hoping we get the timing right on this. Let's do 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so yeah, this is Portal. This is a part of the game that actually most of the time when I run the game, I don't actually see it because oh, do I have the audio on? Well, yes, I do. Sorry, just making sure because GLaDOS is not. Oh, there she is. There she is. She takes longer to come in than I remembered. Okay. Like I said, I don't normally play this part of the game. Normally Portal runners have like a save file where which starts them at the end of this section with 53.01 seconds on the clock on the timer already, just so we don't have to do this every time we reset. So, but for marathons, don't like using that, just because you want to get the full experience in a marathon run. The run's about to start, by the way, so GLaDOS is counting down, and here we go. Just gonna, as I say, not doing any ABHing because that's banned by the rules. We're just gonna be doing some regular old bunny hopping. Bunny hopping, of course, nowhere near as good in the Source engine as it was in Gold Source. Basically, the way it works is that when you do repeated jumps, you the game adds negative speed to you to try and slow you down. And yeah, and that's the reason why ABHing normally works, is because if you turn around, then that negative speed just becomes regular speed, but that's entirely irrelevant to this category. We don't use it. We move more or less like normal human beings, aside from the whole Portal business.
Perfect. Please move quickly.
So early on, we are going to have a lot of the same kind of waiting around for things that you would see in a normal run, though we are going to find ways to hopefully try and speed things up. Just gonna take a break in this elevator. That's one of the things about Portal, is that you go really fast and then you have to wait, I believe it's 9.5 seconds every time you get in an elevator at the end of the map. So yeah, this is the chamber where we get the portal gun, and it's gonna have our first kind of like trick of the run, which should hopefully allow us to get up to that platform like as soon as possible after picking up the portal gun, assuming I get this right. Gonna go down here, jam my face against the wall, quick save. 1, 2, 3, and yes! Because normally when you pick up the portal gun, it resets all of the portals, so you can't just get right up to that platform immediately. But by doing that, we're able to get through the portal faster than the game can reset the portals.
Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the upper. Well done. Remember, the aperture science.
And that's chamber 3 done with. Not much to say about the sort of the first half of this game. Glitchless is probably the least popular of the three major main categories, which is out of bounds, inbounds, and of course glitchless. Just because, like, for the first half or so of the run, until you get the orange portal gun, it's more or less just a very fast, regular playthrough. There's nothing that really, there's not a lot that really makes it a speedrun aside from just clever portal usage.
Good luck.
This next part of the run, Chamber 5, is like one of the first parts that I really have a lot of trouble with. It's not even that hard, just my portal placement is never quite right. We're gonna very quickly throw these two cubes onto a button. We got the first one, we did not quite get the portal there. The angle that you have there makes it very difficult to get the cube to fall straight through the portal, otherwise it'll just get stuck or you'll miss it entirely. Here we're going to destroy the radio and the camera just because we have to wait for GLaDOS to finish her dialogue before the elevator will move, so it's literally just a fun thing to do to kill time. I was a bit too far forward. I didn't quite hit the trigger to make the elevator go. And now we're going into Chamber 6, and this is the first chamber where we kind of just skip the puzzle. There we go. Instead of actually redirecting the pellet like it wants us to, we just jump through the portal, and we land right on the elevator.
Disabilities such as vaporization. Please be careful.
And now we're also going to skip the next puzzle in here with one of the more irritating tricks of the run. This is one that annoys me just because of how dead on your angle needs to be. We fire a portal up there, and yes.
And flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate the high
a lot of stuff happens in this run because of just being able to use momentum in ways that the game didn't really plan on us doing it. So both of those puzzles normally revolve around redirecting the high energy pellet to activate moving platforms and such, but instead we just use portals and momentum to break things, and in here we're going to do exactly the same thing, except rather than using momentum, we're just going to jump on a little bit that sticks out of the wall.
Good luck.
I was too busy explaining the previous chamber that I forgot to give any preamble or context to that chamber. That's also one of the harder tricks in the run. It took me a while to get that down, but yeah, once you get it, it is very satisfying to pull off. This one is a lot more simpler. We're just gonna... Oh, give me that.
Fantastic.
This has not gone to plan. Just wanted to grab the cube. Why is it so difficult? Most of the difficult things, or like the really irritating things in this run, are because of cubes. Like there's a lot of annoying bits where you have to throw cubes, or where you have to, like, position cubes. Sometimes you'll, like, be running to a door, and then at the last minute the cube will decide it wasn't quite on the button, and it'll just barely teeter off. There we stood, like, on the very edge of the portal, so that when we put another portal down, it didn't push us out. We were standing on the boundary between portals, and there we just... more momentum redirection. I'm sorry, I am not doing a very good job of explaining this, but basically, you have just enough momentum to, if you get a full fall going, you have just enough momentum to shoot across the gap without, bringing the wall out all the way. Now we have the orange portal gun, we just completely broke that puzzle by jumping all the way across the room. I'm gonna die. Okay, time to reload my quick save. For a second, I panicked, and I was like, wait, have I quick-saved since Chamber 2? I thought I just, like, wiped out 8 minutes off the run. But yeah, you get to see me do that again. Now we have the second portal gun, and pretty much immediately we're gonna start doing some very fun things with it. You're gonna see some air strafing shenanigans in this next chamber. Do 5 jumps, throw a portal up there, and if we have enough momentum, we did not. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. That platform comes out. We look up there to make the cube come down a little bit sooner. I don't know why that works, but it does. Grab the cube from here. You can throw it from that platform onto the button, but it's incredibly inconsistent. Even the top runners don't really plan on reliably getting it. I am by no means a top runner. I'm like top 50, I think. I'm like 3 minutes away from the world record. So yeah, now the run is really going to start to open up. This is Chamber 13. Once again, it is a puzzle that involves redirection of pellets, but we are going to break it with a simple cube throw. We missed. There we go. This next test could take a very, very long time. Not quite, GLaDOS, I'm afraid. This is one of the first chambers we do it so fast that the dialogue doesn't even have time to finish. Here, one of the longest chambers in a casual playthrough, and there we go. Shortest chamber in the Glitchless speedrun. What we just did there was called a re-portal, where basically as we went through the portal, we shot another portal, and the portal like closed around us, so the physics engine like gave us a bit of extra speed so that we wouldn't get stuck in the middle of the now closed floor, and we were able to use that extra bit of momentum to climb up to the top of the elevator. Here we're going to do a lot of very fancy movements so we can get this cube on the first get this pellet rather on the first cycle without having to wait for another one to respawn. Here we're going to miss this trick, but don't worry, we have a backup. I just sort of skip that puzzle. Now instead of doing this elevator, we're just gonna do a couple of portal peaks, and now instead of doing this puzzle, we redirect our momentum, and we're right back up here. This run is still very hectic, if you couldn't quite tell. I'm struggling to keep up with how fast my movement is going. But don't worry, we are gonna have a bit of time to calm down, because Chamber 16 is up next, which starts with a good bit of dialogue before we're actually able to keep playing the game.
Sounds like maybe a good time for a donation.
One or two. It's gonna, yeah.
Yeah, let me just go ahead. It's a quick one. $20 from D to the Maru that says Queer Force. And I do just want to quickly remind everybody as well, we have some donation incentives that we still need to meet for Hyper Rogue, and so we need about, I think cumulatively about another $600 or so for that. So let's go ahead and get some more donations in.
Heck yeah, let's get them in. But we're just doing some cleverly placed portals to basically go right past all of the turrets. And this is actually a very clean Chamber 16. Normally I don't get it quite as clean as this, and we're already done with it. Turns out when you can put portals whenever you like, you're basically able to go wherever you like.
Yeah, someone who's only played this game casually, this is like just mind-blowing to watch, because everything you're doing is completely fair, and it's like, oh, I could have done this when I played it a couple years ago.
If you want to see something mind-blowing, here is the least consistent skip of the run, which is Chamber 17 skip, where basically we're going to take the companion cube here. This is the apex of all cube shenanigans in this run. We are going to... Oh, that got stuck in there. That was very interesting. I apologize to anyone who's photosensitive or anything along those lines. That pellet was having a bad time. And so basically, normally you would have to like use the cube to press buttons and stuff, but instead we're going to do some classic Source Engine prop stacking shenanigans. I'm going to put this camera down here, grab the cube, and hopefully I get this. Come on! Okay, didn't get it. Didn't get it again. Let's try again. This is incredibly inconsistent. People sometimes... There we go, finally got it. That is incredibly difficult and inconsistent. People sometimes will swear off this category entirely because of that trick and basically nothing else. Which is why my friend Kodjlax said to me, in a casual playthrough, you have to kill the companion cube, but in the glitchless run, you get to kill the companion cube.
Oh,
that
man,
is also...
That is too funny.
That is also the last time we're going to be having to do anything involving cubes in the run. So that is the companion cube burning for the sins of its siblings. This is Chamber 18. First of all, we're going to skip some jumps that we have to do just by going over here. And now there's normally a really complicated puzzle we have to do in this room, getting rid of a whole bunch of turrets. Instead, we're going to take this camera off the wall, prop it up against the door. We're gonna zoot ourselves all the way over here. We open the door. Camera is now stuck propping the door open, and then we just shoot a portal in here, and we've skipped the entire puzzle. Sadly, this bit we're going to do more or less intended. You can skip a cycle here by doing some reportals like in Chamber 14, but I can never quite get the timing right, so I don't go for them. There's two you can go for. The first one is the easier one, and the second one is the harder one, in my opinion. But yeah, that's the last of the regular test chambers. Now we're going... First of all, we have to wait for GLaDOS's dialogue to finish, but then after Chamber 19, we're going to be going into the escape sequences. So from here on out, we are basically in the end game, or at least in the late game. Chamber 19 is another really difficult one where we skip the entire elevator sequence by doing some portal repositioning. Annoyingly, the tracks that the elevators run on are able to move you, so sometimes you will just, you will literally just, like, you'll poke your head out of here, and the game will immediately just yeet you out into the horrible goo abyss of death. But yeah, there, we've just skipped everything. I jumped into the fire, I missed my portal. So let's try that again. GLaDOS still does not know we've escaped, even though we escaped a very long time ago. GLaDOS is only just now giving the spiel that would precede our demise in the fire. Gonna go right over here. Welcome to... Oops, that's the first time I've ever messed that up.
Goodbye.
We jump down here, and GLaDOS only just realizes that we've gone somewhere we're not supposed to. Normally we were supposed to get on top of that piston, but instead we're going to get a very precise angle, and go over here, and we go over here, and that's Chamber 19 done. And now we're also going to skip most of Escape 0, or at least we're going to do it very, very quickly, thanks to portal shenanigans. Gonna quick save there, because you only really get one shot at this. There we go, re-portal, put ourselves over here, put a portal over here, and now instead of having to do like the fall over there, we can just portal directly past the pistons. We go up here, you can shoot through these pistons. There are actually some things you can shoot through, they just don't have collision for some reason. For example, the glass in Chamber 19, that we were able to shoot through the pipe to get straight up to the top of that room where normally you can go through like the dilapidated offices. Some things just don't have collision, I don't know. We didn't make them not have collision, so it's not a glitch that we did, it's just something they kind of forgot. Now, you can actually just open that door and get out of this turret ambush, like, immediately. Gonna go for a very advanced sort of trick. Okay, I've already messed it up. You want that turret to be alive, because we're gonna use him to break the glass, instead of having to wait for the rocket turret later on. Okay, I've messed everything up. We're gonna have to do this the intended way. Okay. Okay, hang on. How do I do this? I don't actually remember what I'm supposed to do here. Alright, intended way. Whoops. This is incredibly embarrassing, but basically, I don't know what's happening here. This just happens every now and again. Yeah, normally we're able to bring the turret through to here, and then it will break the glass instead of us having to wait to do this. This is actually really, really bad. Oh, in a regular run, this would be reset worthy. Oh dear, oh dear. Gonna throw a portal here just so we can get this guy to lock on a little bit faster. He fires the thing, breaks that, and now we portal over here, and now we're gonna go for vent fling. Basically, normally we'd have the rocket guy break that tube and bring us down a cube that we can use, but instead, we just abuse the laws of physics and fling ourselves straight into the vent by crouching. And now we go over here, and we're coming into the final map of the game. I'm going to go for something called Catwalk Skip here, where basically there are two ways that you can skip this entire turret ambush, but I'm going to go for the harder one that also skips having to go along the catwalk, and I got it. There we go. Didn't quite get as fast of a version as I wanted to, but there we go. So that skips that entire puzzle encounter thing, and now we're going right into the GLaDOS fight. This is the final boss of the game, basically. Gonna throw a portal down there and one over here, because basically we want to destroy the morality core as soon as it drops down. I really hope I've got the right positioning with that. This is something I never mess up, but I am eternally paranoid about messing it up. There we go. So that's all the dialogue skipped. You just hear, time out for a second, and then a distant explosion. Now we wait for some dialogue to happen. This is pretty much just the calm before the storm. You get a nice opportunity to collect your nerves before actually going into the fight. Because this is the only category where you actually fight GLaDOS. In every other category, you can glitch a turret in here, and it turns out one turret bullet does the same damage to her as a rocket. So, you can just instantly end the fight. Now here what we're going to do is by standing here, the rocket turret will hopefully lock onto us as soon as it comes up. So now we're going to go over here. I've messed that up.
That core may have had some ancillary responsibilities. I can't shut off the turret defenses.
There we go, redirect. And now we're able to get that core as soon as it appears and dump it straight into the... Oh, you've got to be joking me.
Keep doing whatever it is you think.
Sometimes the game doesn't cooperate. That's like the easier of the three cores, I would say. Now we're gonna go for this one. This is one of the harder ones. We don't go for the same jumping onto the ledge strap because then we would get there too soon and then we would not have time to be able to make this, because this is actually a really tight cycle. I'm really glad I got that. That's the one I have the most trouble with. Now we're gonna go over here, and time is gonna be coming up right at the... Oh, what just happened there? Okay, I'm gonna reload my save because I'm very confused as to what happened there. I guess we went through the portal slightly too late. Okay, we grab the thing, hi Mike Patton, we throw him in the trash, and this is going to be time. Sorry if I dropped that one on you kind of abruptly, but I was too busy trying to explain what went wrong. That was Portal, everybody. That was a video game. Oh dear. I'm not gonna lie, that run was a little bit of a fiasco, especially towards the end, but I mean, I'm happy.
It was really intense and very enjoyable to watch, so thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for having me. Oh, I say thank you so much for having me as if that's like the only thing. I've got the next run as well. So
what are you running?
yeah.
What are you running for us next? Tell us about your next run.
Okay, the next run, it's not exactly a run per se. It's basically, I'm going to be using the first speed run I ever picked up, which was codenamed Kids Next Door Operation Video Game on the PlayStation 2. It's not a very good speed game, don't make the same mistake I did. And basically I'm going to be using that to give like a talk on like glitch hunting and developing, like optimizing a speed run from scratch when like you don't really have a community and it's basically just you like being a weird hermit playing a game that nobody else has played.
I think that happens a lot more often than we tend to think about.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really great showcase.
Yeah, we can't all be speedrunning Mario 64 and Celeste and getting that sweet tournament money. You know what I mean? But yeah, here's the ending cutscene. Hope you all have enjoyed Portal. It wasn't here with us for very long, but it was a fun time. What was the time on that, by the way?
The time on stream was 20 minutes and 19 seconds.
Ooh, that's not bad. Like as far as real time goes, normally we remove the load times. I didn't have a thing set up to do that, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take that any day.
It was kind of interesting to watch because like every time you said that something didn't go well, like the very next thing you did was like, oh, that went super well. I totally got that the way I wanted. So I think it was one of those things where maybe like it kind of giveth and taketh away a little bit. And it was just really cool to watch.
There's so many moving parts, especially towards the end, that like you can completely get one thing. I'm really annoyed I didn't get to show off the super fancy flip in like Escape 1, just because I happened to quick save after the turret died. I'm embarrassed about that, but other than that, I'm happy with it. I hope you'll enjoy.
Would you say it's hard to overstate your satisfaction?
I'll let you have that one. That's one way you could put it, yeah. So, yeah, I guess we just... I don't know why I'm trying to say what happens next. I mean, I just play the video games. I don't organize this.
No, this is great, and thank you so much. Yeah, and go ahead and we're gonna take a quick break here, and you can get ready for your showcase, and we'll all stick around and listen to some tunes.
All right, no problem.